For all the latest updates, subscribe to News 9.
Protesters hurled stones at security forces blocking a road near Lebanon's parliament on the second day of protests against the government after a huge explosion last Tuesday killed dozens of people and injured thousands. Two government ministers resigned amid the political fallout of the blast and months of economic crisis, saying the government had failed. A host of nations have pledged nearly $300 million in humanitarian assistance to Lebanon at a conference aimed at rallying international support for the crisis-hit country days after debilitating explosion in Beirut. French President Emmanuel Macron, who led the conference, said the meeting raised pledges worth $298 million and said that funds would primarily support healthcare, food security, education, and housing. US President Donald Trump asked Lebanon to conduct a full and transparent investigation into the huge explosion that hit Beirut and expressed his support for protests demanding reform in the country. Massive blast in Beirut last week killed nearly 200 people. A ship that ran aground off Mauritius, leaking tons of oil into the ocean, is cracking and threatening an even greater ecological and economic disaster for the nation, said Mauritius Prime Minister. More than 1,000 tons of fuel have seeped from the bulk carrier into the Azure Sea of southeast Mauritius, but another 2,500 tons remain aboard the vessel. Nearly 50 people have been killed across Pakistan after 3 days of heavy monsoon rain and flash floods. According to Pakistan's National Disaster Management Authority, 19 people died in rain-related incidents in northwestern Khyber Pakhtunkhwa province, 12 in southern Sindh province, 8 in Punjab province, and 10 in the country's scenic northern Gilgit-Baltistan region in the past 3 days. Rain also damaged about 100 homes and caused a breach in a flooded main canal. Police in Belarus has cracked down on opposition protesters after an official exit poll put President Alexander Lukashenko on course to win a sixth term. Serious clashes have broken out between police and protesters in Belarus following disputed exit polls that claim to show a 79.7% victory for longtime President Alexander Lukashenko in Sunday's elections. 8 people, including employees of a French aid group, were killed by gunmen riding motorcycles in an area of Niger that is home to the last West African giraffes. There are 8 dead, 2 Nigerians, including a guide and a driver, while the other 6 are French. Puerto Rico's primary elections were temporarily halted because of a lack of ballots in voting centers across the island. According to election officials, the State Elections Commission suspended voting to some precincts because they had not received ballots. More than 1 million people in Africa have been infected with COVID-19, but health experts say the numbers do not give a full picture of the outbreak on the continent. Africa had recorded a total of 10,08,154 cases, and more than half of these are in South Africa. Dr. Matshidiso Moeti of the World Health Organization said the cases are a small fraction of the global count, but low testing in many African countries means infections have been underreported.